to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm in my living room and I'm going to be talking about baking business tips for teens. So if you want to start off a teen baking business, here are some tips that you should know at the beginning of your journey and along the way of your journey. So let's get right into it. Tip number 1, practice makes perfect. Honestly, your cookies, if that's what you're selling, it all depends on what you're selling, but if you're making cookies or cake pops, they're probably not going to look good the first time that you make them. They might. I mean, depends on your artistic abilities. But I know the first cake I made for my business was not good. Practice makes perfect though. I got a lot better with time and practice. And honestly, owning a business, whether it's baking or just a business in general or just working, you're going to need to work hard and practice, because if you don't practice at something, how are you going to get better? You're going to have to work really hard for a business, and you're going to have to put a lot of time, effort, and probably money into it as well. That just comes along with having a business or with being responsible of something. So it's going to be hard work, but you have to practice and try as hard as you can, obviously. Give it your best effort, and I'm sure others will appreciate that if they're going to be purchasing from your business. Tip number 2, money. So factor in the time you put into it. As a baker, I can appreciate all the time that's put into making and selling these baked goods. A lot of time is put into it, like baking and decorating, cooling. You have to factor in the time to when you're going to pay. Don't just say, hey, I paid this much for ingredients, you can give me that much money that I paid for my ingredients. You have to factor in the time that you put into it. If you put in 8 hours of time and you used $8 of ingredients, don't say, okay, it's $8. Make it a little more expensive because of all the time you spent on it, because time is money. Tip number 3, advertising. So I have like little stickers that I use for advertising. Pretty straightforward. But like, I recommend some kind of sticker, business card, something like that to promote your business, or flyers, whatever you want to do. It's not up to me, and you don't have to, but I'd recommend that. And like, come up with a name and a logo too, because, just do it because it looks better and more professional, and I recommend that. And then I would also recommend getting like a YouTube account to promote your business. Like a Facebook account, Instagram account, Snapchat account, where you will post about your business. I haven't done that yet. I want to, but I don't really have a food handling license. It all really depends on where you live if you need a food handling license. Like, sometimes different states require different things to have your own business and sell. And yeah, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Tip number 4 is get the license that you need. So if you live, I don't know, somewhere, I mean, obviously you do live somewhere, but just find out what your state requires to be able to sell to people. Like right now, my business is just selling to people that I know, that are my neighbors, that are my family, friends. Those are who I'm selling to right now. And I'd recommend that in the beginning of a business. If you're just starting a business, just sell to people you know, and make sure to get good reviews, feedback. If someone doesn't like your cake, make improvements on it, obviously, but like, get feedback, because that's also very important. Very important to get feedback. That's why I would sell to friends and family first, is just to get good feedback and to just start off your business and just kind of see where you're at, and if you like it, kind of just to like, kind of like a sample, you know what I mean? Just, it's a good spot to get started is by selling to people you know, and then you could go on with your business and get like a license, because right now I don't have a license, so I can sell to like people that I know. You know what I'm saying? Yes, maybe. Okay. Tip number 5, have everything that you need. If you need a whisk to start off your business, get a whisk. Just have everything you need before you advertise for selling. Because if I advertised on Snapchat, like, oh, I'm selling cookies, and then someone's like, oh, I want to buy some, and I didn't have everything I needed, I couldn't make them, I'd have to rush to the store. I mean, that just is common knowledge, really. Just have everything that you need on hand, because you never know when you'll get a really short notice, like, order. Tip number 6, I'd recommend getting some kind of calendar if you have a lot of orders, just so you don't forget an order. I have a little story time for you, okay? Just bear with me here. So once I got this cake order from my friend's sister, and she just wanted a cake for her birthday. I'm like, okay. It was a little whiles away that she wanted the cake, right? Okay. So I'm like, okay, just thinking I will remember in my head that, just remember. And then here comes the day of Friday. They wanted the cake on Saturday. And I'm like, okay, when did they want the cake again? Like, I totally just blanked about it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, when did they need this cake by? And I went and looked at my text, and I see that she wanted the cake on Saturday. And it was pretty late on Friday that I realized this. And like, you have to let it cool before you actually decorate it. And I'm like, Dad, I forgot that I have a cake order tomorrow. And he's like, oh, so we had to run to the local store and get everything we need, bake the cake super quick that night, and then in the morning we had to decorate it really quick before I had to like give her the order. So I'd recommend writing it down, or like having a calendar, something where you can actually keep track of everything so you don't forget, because that was a pretty bad moment. Yeah. Tip number 7, I would recommend knowing everything about your business before you sell. So like, figure out your packaging, what you're going to use to package, what you're going to sell. I would recommend coming up with like a menu. It doesn't have to be huge, but just what flavors you have, what you have, because like if you have cake pops, cupcakes, whatever you have, people will want to know that. Because someone I know has a baking business, and they asked me what I wanted, and I'm like, okay, what do you even sell? Like, honestly, I don't even know. Not to be rude, but it's like, she's like, do you want any cookies? What kind of cookies do you have? So I recommend making a menu so people know what you have, and maybe posting your menu on any social media platform. I think that will be good. If you don't have a license, don't go posting about it everywhere either. I wouldn't recommend that. So yeah. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. There are so many more tips I could do right now. So if you guys want a part 2, let me know, because I would definitely do a part 2. I love giving you guys information or helping you with anything you need. No one really asked for this video, but I know I've gone on YouTube before asking for baking tips, so I thought this would be helpful to some of you guys who want to start your own business or are thinking about it. If you are thinking about making your own business, I would just recommend doing it. It's so fun, and if you're passionate about baking, just try it out. If you don't like it, you could always stop doing your business, but I mean, just try it out. I'm sure you'd love it, and I'm sure it'd be fun, especially if you are passionate about baking. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and I'll definitely be interested in doing a part 2 if you guys want one. Bye!